gentlemen, welcome to CICEE 2019. Today we have the honor and privilege to have the guest from DURST, Mr. Norbert von Schneider.
Perfect.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Norbert, as far as we know, DURST is one of the leading companies in digital printing. Aren't you?
Yes, DURST is a company which is in the so-called imaging market for many years. I mean, from that perspective, I think we are still number one in terms of image quality.
Okay. So as far as we know, the digital printing, the inkjet technology has changed the ceramic industry a lot. Yeah. So what is your strategy to make sure your leadership in the industry?
May I just go back? DURST in 2004 has been the first company introducing digital printing for the ceramic tile decoration. So we have been the first, and we basically initiated a complete revolution. And we have now been working very closely with customers since that time, and we have also seen that other areas within the ceramic production process needs to be digitized in order to increase the flexibility, because nowadays I think what's very important is the flexibility, which has provided digital, but obviously there are other parts in the production chain which are not yet digital, which actually limit the total flexibility which I think is needed in this field. And a big area, it's the so-called glazing and the structuring, because today in order to create a very nice and realistic product, you need to have not a flat surface, you need to have a surface with a certain structure to give that impression. But the problem right now is the structures are just given structures, and you decorate it with a decor which is not perfectly matching the structure, which again does not look 100% realistic. So the next step, or the next revolution, which we have already started, is the so-called digital glazing, digital structure printing, where we can actually print just like a digital image, also the structure. So we get a flat tile out of the press, and all the structuring is done with a digital printer, which means we can perfectly synchronize the structure with the decor and get really realistic designs.
I'm aware that you have a lot of cutting-edge technology, but some people say human eyes can identify 300 dpi, and that's enough. Why should we bother to have higher dpi? Is it over-engineering?
In ceramics, I think for every application, you need to find the right compromise also in terms of resolution. Moving up the resolution too high may, in for certain applications, be the opposite. You get the opposite. In ceramics, we have learned that 300 dpi is the right resolution because you have the right dot size. Because moving up with the resolution, meaning you have to reduce the drop size. So you have very fine drops, which means can affect the formulation of the ceramic inks, which are pigmented inks, which are particles. So the more you reduce the particles, the more you lose color strength. And the second is, if the particles are too small, then they are too much influenced by the airflow created by the tile as they go through the printer. So you don't get the very precise positioning of the dots, which at the end looks not so sharp as if you would have a larger drop size positioned in a very precise way.
And as we know, the ceramic production market is highly competitive, not only in China, but I believe all around the world. How do you look at the competition in China market?
The competition in China market, obviously, maybe it's a little bit different than in Europe, but in China is that you have big players which are in the market for many, many years. They have the trust of the customer. They know each other, relationship. So for a company outside of China to enter this market, you have to build up the good relation. You have to assure that when they buy the printer, that you can also provide the good backup service, to provide the right service in order that they can work in a very efficient and secure way. And this is obviously one of the challenges which we have seen, and this is also something where we are working on. I think we would like to provide good service, and we with local people, working together with local people to provide also the necessary relationship in order to build trust among the customers for DURST. On the other hand, DURST, in terms of printer quality, we can offer some very interesting advantages, because we see that in China, the level of quality has improved since the introduction of digital.
Yeah.
But there is now the top level is still missing, and we see that the key players of the ceramic tile companies, they now want to move a step higher and to diversify themselves from the rest. And that means that if you want to move up, you also have to use the right equipment, which allows to do that.
You know, the overall volume of China's ceramic production has been negative last year. Are you still optimistic about the China market?
I think we see a decrease in production, not only in China, but also in other markets. And this is probably due to the fact that maybe before too much was produced, because, as I said before, the production technologies used today are designed to run high volume to the warehouse, to stock. And if you have too much stock, then obviously you start to lose attraction if a product is too long on the stock. Secondly, it's also related to pricing, because you need to sell those products at the lower price.
Okay.
And for us, the ceramic market or the ceramic tile is a product which will not disappear. I think it will leverage the quantities, and the winning companies will be those who provide very high standards, innovative designs, innovative products. I think they will always win.
Okay.
And I think our focus is there, and this is maybe also our opportunity, because our products are geared for the top of the market, for very high quality, high impact of the design. And this is, I think, the situation right now in China, but also in other markets. We see this is a great opportunity for DURST.
Okay, still a better opportunity even for you.
Yes.
So the last question, you know, this exhibition is positioned as an international one, and they want to become a world-class one. Would you like to give us some comments or suggestions so that our organizers can improve?
I think this exhibition is fairly new. I think it started last year. No?
Second.
This is the second year. Last year, obviously, the attendance was lower than this year. This year, the attendance was very good.
Okay.
So I think this is very positive. And I think, like everything you organize, you cannot have an immediate result. It will take some time. No? And I think one thing which is important, because I think we like this show. I mean, you're right where all the manufacturers are. What we like about this show is that it's central. It's well organized, so I think compliments to the organizer. And what obviously should be done as a suggestion is maybe communicate even more to attract maybe people from other countries, to get even more visitors outside of China, and to make sure that all possible or potential visitors know about this show. No? Not only within the ceramic, maybe also outside of the ceramic, no? Because we could also attract other potential buyers outside, which may not so introduced in the ceramic. No?
Okay. So, Norbert, thank you very much for your time and your very constructive suggestions.
Thank you very much for this interview and this opportunity to discuss this with you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Grazie.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I am Norbert von Aufschneider from DURST, Italy, and I'm very glad to be here at this show, and thank you very much to the organizer for having organized such a great show, and for the opportunity also to have this interview. And I wish this organizer all the best for the show, for the future years to become even more important and to become the leading show in China.